Dude, what's with the pantyhose? But Tibbs got a gun.
When I went to the gun, I said, I've been waiting for you, buddy. I don't know why I said that. If he had a sawed-off shotgun, I might have done something different. But all he had was his pantyhose and his knife. You know, I look around, and here comes the kid through the door with pantyhose on his head and the legs hanging down below his waist. And I got tickled because I thought it was funny. You know, I really thought maybe somebody tried to scare me. Then I come around the corner to get my gun because I seen he had a knife.
She follows him out the door and...
I shot up over his head because we got houses back in here. And, you know, I didn't want to hurt nobody. I just, you know, wanted to scare him so he wouldn't come back.
Oh, he don't come back. In fact, his own mama has him picked up.
His mother seen the film and heard the voice and recognized his voice, and she told him that she wanted him to pick him up.
Warning to robbers in Eden, North Carolina. Don't mess with Grandma Tibbs.
That's the reason they called me the crazy lady on the country corner.
Yeah, we're thinking she's crazy. Like hero crazy. Max X, all guts, a whole lot of glory. Coming up, ladies and gentlemen, the most mugged man in America. Floodwater's rising, kids are freaking, and one woman's doing some life-saving. A hotel guest gives a bad guy a taste of his own hospitality. Neighbors lend a helping hand to catch a kid tossed from a burning building. If you're looking for more of them hero types, you'll want to see our Max X list. Max X, guaranteed provide. Yo, Max X fans, you're in Vegas. You check into a hotel. All you want's a good night's sleep. Yeah, right. But that's what 53-year-old Richard Young has in mind, until he sees this.
I turned around and witnessed two suspects coming in.
A couple of jerks trying to rob the front desk. Bad guy number one says he has a gun. Bad guy number two has a stocking on his head. The clerk calls for help.
She was in the process of calling the police. He made an attempt to grab that phone, pull it away from her. I made a decision to do something about it. I grabbed the first man from the rear, around the neck, with a chokehold. The number two man started to come over and put some punches on me. I didn't have any idea that the guest that was sitting on the couch would take one look and depart the area immediately.
That leaves Richard, father of two, by himself with a couple of bad guys.
Suspect number one was still kicking and trying to get free. Number two stood over the top of me, giving me a few more blows on the side of the head. I thought probably with my other arm that I could bring him down. But what happened is I ended up pulling his trousers down. And then he decided maybe I ought to get out of here. And as you can see in the video, he's pulling his britches back up and heading out the door. By that time, there was another guest who was staying at the motel. While he was coming up there, I told him be prepared to hold the first robber suspect's legs. When the police finally walked through the door, the one motel guest and the assistant manager were retaining the suspect number one. He was armed with a large screwdriver. I pressed my luck. I wouldn't recommend that everyone attempt this. They were not going to rob the cashier, and they definitely were not going to take me and take my valuables unobstructed. I don't consider myself a hero by any means. I'm not one. I was just doing my job as a citizen.
Yeah, but we know a lot of citizens who would have split. That's the difference between most of us and a hero. Here's the most mugged man in America.
As a decoy cop, I've been mugged 75 times.
Detective Ron Lane is a cop in Atlantic City. He decoys bad guys by wandering down a dark alley, acting like he's drunk. This is not a good job. Like a starving bear to raw meat, a mugger goes for the bait.
Give me a few dollars to get something to eat. Help them to go in your pocket. Please don't have nothing. Give me your wallet. No.
Hey, bad guy, how about a little of this? While Detective Lane's staggering around, his teammates wait in a van. Sure enough, a dude shows up with mugging on his mind. Now, the cops let it go on for a little while to make sure there's enough evidence to convince a jury. Then they deal with his ass. It ain't an easy job.
I've had stitches in my head. I've been knocked over the head with bricks and bottles and kicked in the face and punched everywhere you can imagine. And I've taken some good shots.
Sometimes it gets pretty hairy.
What are you doing?
They mentioned right there that they would cut me.
What? Don't cut me. Don't cut me. No.
And so I'm asking not to cut me, and this guy here pulls out a small knife, leans in with the blade.
Help arrives in the nick of time. This one's kind of dark, so look close. The bad guy throws a nasty elbow.
He punched him in the face. Well, hurry up.
Ow, let's see that slower and closer.
He punched him in the face. Well, hurry up.
Yeah, it hurts just as much the second time. Detective Lane's doing something right. Crime in Atlantic City's down 50%. He doesn't fight back because he thinks he'd just get hurt worse. And it's also more convincing to a jury. Detective Lane's been taking punches for 16 years, and it's starting to get to him.
I don't know from day to day when I'll stop doing these.
Gee, we don't see why. Look at all the fine people you meet. Floodwaters are rising in Lincoln, California. Linda Cazaza gets what she calls a funny feeling. She leaves her house to check things out. Sure enough, she spots a problem. A car's trapped in the water. Michelle Martin was driving the car. When she saw the water coming up, she told her daughter Robin and her friend Stacy to get out of the car and onto dry land. But the water gets too high, too fast for the girls. The girls are scared, and that's where Linda comes in. One by one, she puts the girls on her shoulders and walks them through the water to dry land.
I'm a very strong person, very strong. And I know I am not a fool to endanger myself or anybody else. But I don't see any reason for children to stay panicked.
She told us just to calm down, take deep breaths, and that it's going to be okay. Don't be scared.
So now I want you to sit up high on my shoulder so I don't fall over. You know, I'm balanced way. And I grabbed their hands and I said, okay, now, deep breaths. Now try to be brave. We are going to be brave. And they were both very brave.
Well, the girls are safe, but what about Mom? Firefighters make their way out to Michelle.
The fire truck is getting my mom out of the car and our jackets, and she put her stuff on top of the truck, and her jeans are all wet.
When Michelle's saved, Linda brings Stacy to the fire truck. Then Linda carries Robin to her mother. The firefighters drive them out safely.
What would you like to tell the lady that saved you? Thanks a lot for saving me, my friend. I really appreciate it. And I think that she's a real big hero.
It's an instinct in a human being to, if you're able to, you have enough confidence to be able to do some rescue, then rescue. Why not?
I feel like she was just a guardian angel out of nowhere, and she was just guarding us.
It's also good when guardian angels are superheroes. A fire's raging in Shantytown in Sao Paulo, Brazil. A mama and her kid are trapped. Neighbors tell her if she lets go, they'll catch the kid. She doesn't want to, but she has to. The kid's okay. Now it's Mom's turn. A dude reaches up to grab her. Can he get a hold of her leg? Gotcha. Oh, nice catch, dude. One more time in slow-mo. When he grabs her foot, she lets go. Somehow he holds on. It's almost graceful, like they're dancing or something. She drops into her neighbor's arms. Remember the dog? they did. That ain't just being heroes. We'd say that's right neighborly. Maxax, we're all over this hero stuff. Next, where's a 3.5-ton elephant sit? Anywhere it wants to. Why did the duck cross the road? Oh, it didn't. And see you later, alligator. Maybe not.
Down, catch, pull, quick!
Say what? Them dudes ain't brave enough for you? Then stick around for our Maxax list. Maximum exposure. Saving lives since 1855. You got Maxax, and we got us some heroes. Near Bangkok, Thailand, a 3.5-ton bull elephant named Plai Soma got himself stuck in a big old mud hole. He's 72 years old. After trying for hours to get unstuck, he's all wore out. Thais are way into elephants, so they ain't gonna let him just give up and die. They pump him with an IV to boost his strength. Then they get a backhoe to scoop out the mud. Here's a better idea. They use the backhoe as a crane and pull the big dude out. They get him upright, but he's still stuck. They run a hose on him to perk him up a little bit. Of course, it also makes more mud. Well, what do we know about yanking an elephant out of a hole? Now, the crane thing's working okay, but he's so weak he can hardly stand up. And you don't want to be under 3.5 tons of elephant when it falls over. But these guys are risking it. They push and push. Finally, he's out of the hole. And all these heroes can go and get cleaned up. Turn up your scanners. There's police activity on the 101 in San Jose, California. The suspects? Ducks. Meandering along the freeway. They wander onto the path of the speeding cars. It could get messy. So Highway Patrol and Animal Control gotta get them. Ain't as easy as it sounds. Hey, got your billy club. You could just club it like a regular suspect. One guy makes a waddle for it. He gets slammed by a passing car. Good eating. Oh, wait a minute, he's only stunned. He comes to. And the ducks get taken off to, well, wherever ducks go. Mexico City. A truck full of pigs got itself stuck in a tunnel. The driver took off. Firefighters have to cut the top off the truck to get it out. But the sparks are bumming the pigs out. These poor dudes are stuffed into really small cages, like pre-canned hams. That makes it harder to cut around them. The firemen use their coats to protect the porkers from the sparks. Finally, after 2 hours, the jaws of life finally cut the truck free. They tow the pig truck away. One of them even gets a ride on a cop's bike. The pigs make it safely to the slaughterhouse. They're thinking, dudes, thanks for nothing. If you're gonna be a hero, you better be prepared, like Todd Hardwick.
Did y'all call about an alligator?
A big gator's hanging out in the swimming pool, and Todd's on it.
You're not gonna believe this, man.
Holy cow! Jill, this is a huge alligator. Jill, catch, pull, quick! This is a big, big gator. Give me a pull now!
Todd sounds awful excited for a dude who wrangles gators for a living.
Come on, Jill, he's coming up.
Watch out, watch out.
Jill, this is a big, big gator. Come on!
We're thinking Jill's like, I heard you, dude. You know, this is Miami, where gators do crawl into swimming pools on occasion. But it just gets Todd really, really excited.
Jill, get me a pole. Throw it over here. Hurry up and get in here.
Watch out, man.
Holy cow, this is a 10-foot alligator.
Yeah, maybe that's why Jill ain't so eager to get in close to it.
Tape, I'm gonna push him back in. I'm gonna try to back him up.
Oh, my God. You cannot believe
I want to try to get a lasso on him and get some control of him, and then we'll worry about getting him out of the pool.
The crew just happens to have a special underwater pole cam. Wow, they were really prepared for this. Yeah, he's a big sucker. They get the gator roped up. Next thing they gotta do, tape up its mouth.
All right, I want to make this alligator safe. Let's do that first. This is not good.
Whoa, that was close. Let's see that again. Todd's thinking it's okay to tape up the gator.
This is not good.
The gator's thinking, nah, plan B.
All right, let's get him up on shore. Hang on, don't get pulled in.
Don't get pulled in. Really good advice, dude.
I want him out. I'm not taping him until he's out.
Pull him up on
Whoa,
shore.
sounds like Jill's feeling the pressure. The gator don't want to come out. He grabs a hold of a step with his teeth.
All right, let's pull.
He's out.
Pull.
Now Jill can tape him. Good
Go
job.
ahead and loosen that pull, Jill.
And they take the gator back to the wild.
This will teach people to turn the lights on before they jump in their pool for a midnight swim.
Thanks for the tip, Todd. You're our hero. Note to self. Turn pool lights on before midnight swims. Got it.
Jill!
Maximum exposure. You don't gotta wait much longer. We got the coolest, toughest, superest heroes on the planet. And they're starring in our Max X list.
I tried to remain calm.
It's a world of big hurt. Coming up on the next Maximum Exposure.
The scene turned very chaotic after that.
We're taking you right up to the breaking point. No ouchie-watchies here. It's the Max X Pain Fest.
Get him! Help him!
Watch and then you...
Maximum Exposure's geared up with the most heroic dudes we got. It's our Max X list. Coming in at number 3. Rochester, New Hampshire. Firefighters are doing their thing on a fire in an apartment building. A family's trapped on the top floor. Parents and 2 kids. Mom Julie hangs out the window trying to breathe. Captain Derek Peters brings her down.
The main thing on my mind was to get the kids out. You know, I wanted them to go right back in and get them.
They bring Julie's fiancé Glenn out too, but their kids are still in the apartment. 3-year-old Ava and 3-month-old Benjamin.
The only thoughts running through my mind was terror and panic and such a feeling of helplessness.
Fireman Brian Anderson goes in to get the kids. He finds Benjamin in his crib and passes the baby out to Captain Peters.
The first thing I heard was a cry, and I was just overjoyed by that.
Up the ladder goes Captain Peters again, looking to get Ava.
I could see somebody starting to come towards me, at which time they handed out the little girl.
Ava's like a lifeless little doll. You can hear her dad freaking.
When they pulled Ava out of that window, finally, I literally wept. I reached over and I hugged Julie, and all I could think of, she's dead. She's dead, she's dead, she's dead. I kept repeating that over and over again.
Ava's pretty close to it. She's got lots of smoke in her lungs, but she gets mouth-to-mouth and she recovers.
Every firefighter dreams of rescuing people. But you always hope in the back of your mind that it never happens. But if it does, this is the way you'd want it to be.
Ava has some short-term lung damage, but she's okay.
It was kind of like a second chance being a parent. You think back and you say, well, we yelled at her maybe 2 days ago for something silly. You know, and if she'd have died, we'd have probably both lived with that the rest of our lives. It's a feeling I don't ever want to experience again.
Hey, you don't have to worry about that, because these fire dudes rock. Number 2 on our Max X list. A river's flooded in Adelaide, Australia. A 10-year-old boy, Chris Butler, falls in. Senior Constable John Potter jumps in to save him. But the water's rushing so fast that both of them are swept downriver. The water's also nearly freezing, so they won't be able to hold on for long. Emergency crews race downstream to catch up to Potter and Chris. Potter tries to get Chris over to some rescue guys, but the current's too strong and tears Chris away. And it also pulls in 2 more rescuers. Chris and Potter have been in the water for almost an hour. 2 miles downriver, the emergency crews want to try another rescue attempt. They run a line across the river. Chris and Potter grab onto a rock in midstream, but Chris is getting weak. The rescuers get a line out to him. They got it. They pull Chris out of the water.
He couldn't stand up.
He's gonna be okay. But Potter's still out there. He's got like about no strength left. A rescue dude gets him over to a rope, and they pull him out.
What did you say to the young boy? Just to relax, take it easy, we get him out.
Hey, thanks, hero dude. And the #1 biggest superhero on our Max X list. This guy. Sao Paulo, Brazil. Cops are on their way to a hostage situation. A news crew's on it. The reporter's saying that a robbery went bad and the suspect took a baby hostage. He wrecked a car during his getaway. The cops know the reporters, so they let him get right in the middle of the action. Yeah, it's ugly. Bad guy waving a gun around. Kid freaking. Take a closer look at the gun. There's no ammo clip in the gun butt. But hey, there could be a bullet in the chamber. The reporter asks the bad guy not to hurt the kid, but he ain't listening. He's got one demand. He wants his mother-in-law brought to him. We don't know why this guy's asking for his mother-in-law, but he's got the gun, so he's the boss. The dude says he'll surrender if he gets to see her. A Brazilian SWAT team is ready to take the bad guy out. They already wounded him before, when he was making his getaway. And now he's feeling the pain. And he's getting weaker. That's when the reporter decides to make him an offer. A hostage trade, himself for the baby. The bad guy goes for it. The cops take the child away to safety, and now the reporter's the hostage. The guy's still asking for his mother-in-law. That's the only way he'll put an end to this thing. The reporter gets the hostage negotiators to make a promise to the bad guy. Nobody will hurt him if he just gives up. Finally, the mother-in-law shows up. She tells the reporter her son-in-law ain't a bad guy. He's just really hurting for money. She asks him to give up, and he thinks about it. He said he'd give up if he saw her, and that's what he does. As the cops take him away, they check the gun. Sure enough, there was a bullet in the chamber all along. And our reporter, a hero for keeping us cool in a really hot situation. We're Max X, and we're taking off. See ya!
We'll return to Nicolas Cage and James Coburn in Deadfall after these messages.
Jail catch Paul, quick!
Oh, that's what we doing? Alright. Yeah, phone blowing. Alright. Mic check 1, 2. Run it. Phone blowing up to my hoes, I can't get with y'all. Should I cut this dough with flour or some fentanyl? Ask your bitch about me, I wear the biggest draws. Why you even talking to me, you the biggest fraud? On the block with that, trying to work on something. Lying to my bitch, she probably think I'm at work or something.